Welcome back to Supplement Kitchen Reviews. And today I'm waiting on a guest for our Behind the Brand episode. And today we're going to have Ethereal Labs on with us to discuss the brand, who they are, what they got coming up. So let's get started. All right, sir. I'm going to turn it over to you. And the first question to kick us off is going to be on a personal level. Tell everyone a little bit about yourself and your background.
All right, man. I'm Aaron Anderson, 43 years old, man. Got 5 children. And kind of what led me into all this, man. I had been telling them anything is possible. Whatever you put your mind to, you can do. And got to self evaluating and realized that I'd, been telling them a lie because I wasn't, you know, being an example of that. And man, honestly, I'd hit a pretty decent lick at Bitcoin, and then first thought about the SARM business, but some legalities and gray areas, and I didn't want to get into it. And got to looking around, didn't know what to do. And my son, he's a Marine, he said, check this manufacturing company out. And I did, and here we are, man. We've created a pre-workout. We're going to working on a cutting stack, hoping to have a new flavor of the Elysium and possibly some more different pre-workouts, maybe a BCAA. So there's a lot in store for us.
Heck yeah, cool deal, man. That's awesome. So that's really a good segue into the next part, which is about the brand. So where'd the name come from of the pre-workout, the brand?
Honestly, man, my buddy and we were talking about it, and he was just throwing out names. And, we kind of I wanted the Spartan helmet. My son had went to play college football, had 3 concussions. They yanked him, and he called me one day. He's like, I'm going to the Marines. I was like, no way. No, you're not. So the next call, he's like, I'm leaving, such and such date. So, the kid's got a warrior's heart. And so I just wanted something to, significant to that. So that came, with the image and the logo. And as my buddy was throwing out names, I picked Elysium, with what it meant and how it translated and, where the gods roamed. And, it's also translated into my happy place. And I thought, man, both of them, that's, the pre-workout, the gym, the lifestyle, that's my happy place. So.
Yeah, heck yeah. Hey, I'm a father. My kids aren't that old yet, but I understand exactly where you put your kids into it, man. That makes it special. But
yes, sir.
That's awesome, man. Awesome. So you've already touched on the reason for starting, so we'll skip over that. You talked about the products. So you had said you have your pre-workout. You have some other ideas for some upcoming. Do you want to touch a little bit more on those?
Well, we had started, and this was a big boy, man. This is a learning experience, new to all this, and I'd reach out to my manufacturer and told them what I wanted in the cutting stack. And, if they're not mass producing, it's kind of high. It's kind of expensive. And I was like, okay, I can order the ingredients myself. So, I was going to use hemp bean CLA, synephrine, and caffeine, and a couple other things. And our trial run, we was going to do, a trial run with 10 participants. Well, as I got to mixing this stuff, it was a mess, man. I was going to make it a liquid, 30 milliliter bottles, and that way we could adjust dosage based on the person, their experience, how sensitive they were, and all that. So that's kind of where we're at. We're going to have to go with the manufacturer for the samples for that. So, man, like I said, there's a lot to this stuff. It's not as easy as what everybody thinks.
Yeah. I've talked to plenty of people in this space over the last 3 or 4 years of doing this, and there is so much that goes into this stuff that people do not realize. I've thought about jumping into the space as well, but I don't think I want any part of that. You know, I think I'm good. And then another part of the business, I don't know how far you guys are looking to expand, but Amazon is another thing. If you're trying to sell on Amazon or get on Amazon or some of those platforms like that, it is insane some of the stuff you have to do.
Yeah, we had looked at that, and the manufacturer offers a setup with Amazon, and I wasn't for sure in the beginning where this was going to lead and what was next. And like you had to purchase like 15 SKUs off the rip. And so I was like, I'll cross that bridge. Don't know how it's going to be, took, and how people are going to like it, how it's going to catch on, all that stuff, one day at a time. So we didn't go that route. And plus, I wanted to demographically get it placed in different areas, people that I knew, and hey, can you help me spread this out, get some word out? Here's some samples. Here's this. And that's where we're at, man. I've had product 3 weeks, I think. So it's new.
Fair. Yeah, definitely. This space, and sure and you will learn that it is very saturated area. You've definitely got to try and find that niche that makes you slightly different than the other people, to where you can get your foot in the door and kind of keep inching your way in. So definitely understand 100%. You want to just test the waters and kind of go from there. That's what's up, man. So what's kind of your target audience, if you had to put an audience on it, that you guys are looking for?
The meathead, the guy in the gym consistently, because that's me, and I will say this, the feedback that I have been getting, the only thing that I've been hearing is the flavor. It's a little tart, it's a little this, but I didn't want a lot of extra added stuff in there. I didn't want a lot of sweetener because I wanted it to be friendly to the guy who's counting his macros, getting ready to perform. And, that's the people that we want everybody to take it, no doubt. But I thought that was my best avenue.
Yeah, definitely. Well, and when it comes to flavor, and I've tasted enough pre-workout over the last 5 years to be able to tell anybody, flavor is so subjective. It is one of those things that you're never, I don't care if you put as much sweetener as sweet tea has in this thing, it's not going to please everybody. It's just, there's no way to it. So flavor is very subjective. But if you, like you said, you're already thinking about other flavors, which is going to kind of open that up a little more, so
yeah,
that's a big thing.
And I'll look at it as myself, and a lot of times I'll get stuck in that everybody's like me, but they're not, and that's my problem. 4 ounces of water, and I shoot it back. I'm done. And so, when you hear people talk about flavor, I'm like, I really don't even taste it when I drink it. I want the feel from it. I'm not sipping on it.
Yeah, that is the big thing. I'm the same way. Normally when I'm testing, I try and do the recommended dose for about half the time I test, but then the other time, I just can't drink a lot of water before I work. That's just me. It just doesn't sit well on my stomach. Now, through my workouts, it's a little different, and people are like, oh, I need 10 ounces of water. I'm like, good Lord, like, I would die if I had to take that before I worked out.
Right. Like I said, I just shoot it back. My next, I don't know if we're going to go down this road, but had an idea for the next flavoring, call it Biden's blood, and maybe make it like cotton candy, and pink, because we know he's not pumping blood through his heart. But everybody's like, man, you're crazy. So with legalities of that, don't know if we will or if we can, but we'll go on watermelon, mango, fruit punch, something, in that area.
Heck yeah, definitely. Cool deal, man. Sounds like you got some good ideas. It sounds like, things are starting off small, but big dreams. So we'll kind of see how that rolls from there. All right, let's roll into some more, hopefully open up some more discussions. What do you hope to accomplish within the next year with the brand?
I'd like to make $1 million the first year. I
Right?
mean, that's my dream. That's my vision. I'm thinking 10 million in 5 years. Uh, Man, I've got some good people in different areas. I got a guy in Fort Worth, Dallas that's pushing it, and that's one of my biggest areas. It's just as big as it is here in Kentucky or even bigger. And I don't think it's if it lands in the right hands, I think it's when it does, and trying not to go broke in the meantime. Uh, that's the important thing.
Yeah.
So we got a huge event in August, the Kentucky Open. It's huge, and that'll be a big showing for me. It's like bikini competition, bodybuilding, men and women's, arm wrestling, strongman. So it's going to bring a lot of people in, that don't even know that we're there, and that's huge for me.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. If you can get into some of these events and definitely just at least make your name known, having people see that, and then from there, it's kind of like getting that. I'm a firm believer. I talk to many brands, and I work for a big financial company myself on the back end, so I see a lot of business stuff. And the biggest thing, it's not about it is, but it isn't. It's not always about bringing in new customers. The biggest thing I tell people is you want that first customer, but you want that customer to return, because when they return, they're not only going to purchase this. Let's say you have a BCAA there as well. Next, it's going to be two, and then from there, it's word of mouth, and then that's what brings everything in.
Absolutely, and that's what we're relying on right now is people in different areas and local, just everywhere, telling them, man, this is good product. This is good product. They're small, they're local. It's not big company, and that's another reason that I'm really reluctant on protein powder. I feel like a lot of people are going to stick with who they're with. They might change the flavor, they really don't change the brand a lot. So, there's just a lot to learn and to put into evaluation and see what route we go.
Oh yeah, definitely. I agree 100%. Like I was mentioning earlier, it's so oversaturated. The biggest thing is if you can get that customer and impress them the first time, and then down the line, if you can make it a one-stop shop for them, that's where you win in the end. But yeah, it's you just got to find your niche, and that's the biggest thing, like you said. And flavoring is big, especially when it comes to proteins. Because nowadays, we could go back 5 or 6 years ago, and protein powder, it tasted all the same, and it was chocolate and vanilla left and right. But now, some of the flavors that are out here are phenomenal. Even vegan proteins. I've had some vegan proteins that blow regular protein water out of the protein powder out of the water, and it's crazy.
Right.
So cool deal, man. Hey, good luck. I hope you get 1 million in a year, man. I really do.
Appreciate it, man.
All right. So I know you said you're fairly new with getting everything running. So what are some of the best resources that have helped you along the way with launching?
Uh, Man, honestly, social media, and the fact that I won't stay in the same gym very long. I have to switch rooms, man. I get complacent in the same room, and I draw energy. Energy draws a like energy, and I draw energy from a lot of the same people that are close to me. And I'll talk. I'll build the product up. I've built it up and talked to them, so everybody's been kind of excited, word of mouth, and man, my Facebook, Instagram, just I'm adding everybody, and then when they accept me, I'm adding them to the page or trying to, because that's a potential customer. And really, that's all we have right now. Done a little marketing on Instagram and Facebook, but I could use another 50 grand right now to go out and do big marketing.
Yeah, that is definitely another key aspect. Now, one thing with small companies where I think a lot of them win for the most part until they kind of reach that mid, and then when they get to the larger states, it's even harder. But when you keep that personal touch, from owner to your consumer, whether it be handwritten notes, whether it be direct messages, or whatever it may be, that those little personal touches, I think, are really I've seen drive different customer service from these smaller brands as opposed to some of these bigger ones, because to some of these bigger ones, you're just another number coming through a machine. That's it. You're not a customer.
Absolutely, man. Phone is everything. I'm on my phone all the time, and there is a couple times where I'll have to set it down because there's no balance, the kids, the fiance, all that, but I'm answering everybody's questions. I'm answering, comments or replying or just whatever that I can do. And that's what I want to strive on is customer service. I want everybody happy. If something isn't right with an order, I'm going to make it right, and that's what it's all about. Decent quality, good quality. Even if you got decent quality, if you go the extra mile with customer service, man, it means a lot to me.
Yeah, I agree 100% because, nowadays, right now at least, within the supplement space, ingredients have kind of hit a wall. There's no new, breakthrough ingredients at the moment that are really, separating here and there as there were 3 and 4 years ago. Right now, it's like the name of the flavor game. Who has the best flavor? And then from there, like you said, what's going to separate you if you have the same flavor? It's going to come down to that extra mile when it comes down to customer service. So I agree 100%.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right on the ingredients. I'll hit on this for a second. I always want to try the next new, something different pre-workout. I'm bad to build up immunity to it or get used to it. Then I can't feel it. Then I'm scooping a half or 2 scoops. I'm a caffeine junkie anyway, though, man. And so I had 15 jugs of pre-workout, in the house that I hadn't finished. And when I started all this, I just sat down on the ones that I really liked and started writing the ingredients down and researching, the ingredients and kind of cross-connected what in the pre-workouts that I liked. Then I get on the manufacturer's list of ingredients, hit them up, tell them what I was looking for. They gave me a suggested set list, and then we done some changing. And another ploy of theirs was, it was over $300 per 30-serving jug for the formula for you to test because they're not mass producing it. So we got that right, and it was right. It was right for me. And so we rolled with it.
Heck yeah. Well, hey, that's another thing. Gosh, is you actually took things that you would personally use and put it into a pre-workout. Some companies out there, the person making the pre-workout doesn't even care. They're just like, I'm gonna throw all this in here and hopefully I can just make a quick buck. I don't really care about consumer. I don't really care about this. So at least that shows that, hey, this is something that I would take. So, I want to spread that or give that out to other people. So that's awesome as well, man.
Absolutely. I wouldn't take anything else. I'm not going to mention no other brands or nothing or names, but there's a lot of stuff that's open that I would have took before. Now that I got this, the focus and the energy I get from it, man. Like I said, I've had it 3 weeks and I haven't became immune to it. I'm not having to scoop extra, and not yet. Maybe that will come, but I like it. I like it. It's something that I will take and that I will continue taking.
Heck yeah, that says a lot. So that's awesome, man. Cool deal. So next thing, what's your favorite thing about owning a brand? I know it's still young, but so far, what is it?
I just like connecting with the people. I like hearing what they have to say about it, and it's cool also, like I told you with my reasoning on doing this, I showed my kids we can get to this point. I can do this. We can do this. You can do anything that you want, and I've done this. And that's been a huge milestone for me. I felt like left too much on the table, kind of be stuck in my footsteps by fear or what other people would think. At my age anymore, that shit don't matter. And here we are. And being able to put product in people's hands and then giving me feedback, it's pretty cool, man. It's pretty awesome.
That's awesome. Yeah, and it is awesome. And whether you're giving advice or whatever, when you see what you've done, whether it be making or giving, whatever, but when you've seen that it's made a difference in somebody's life in some form or fashion, that just puts a smile on your face, because ultimately that's us people who like to work out, go to the gym. Yeah, we may not all be in the same type of shape, whatever it may be, but we all have one common goal: live a healthier lifestyle. And that's the biggest thing.
It is, man. And, like you said, regardless of what they say, I've got a lot of feedback. Some people it's too strong for. And I think that with the Elysium, that's important, because I do know some bodybuilders and some guys that have competed and high stem. Very, very high stem. And I've got a guy reviewing it currently, and he told me that he wouldn't take his normal regimen a day or two before mine. That way we get an honest review, and it's going to hit everybody different. Some people are at a half a scoop. My fiance, she took a whole scoop when we first got it in. She puked and then worked out for another hour and a half, and I was like, yeah, I love that. I love the heart to it, So it's good, man. It's awesome to be able to put that in people's hands.
Yeah, and you're right on par with that, and that's with what we have done here, and we do this as a hobby. We make no money on this, so everything we do is honest, at least from our opinions. But everybody, and that's the thing people have to understand. These are just like our opinions. We all are different: height, weight, age. We ate different. All these different things play a huge factor into these ingredients, impacting everybody a little different. And another thing with that, all these ingredients within pre-workouts or supplements, most of these ingredients are only studied standalone, meaning we know what they do by themselves. When you combine all these things, though, there are no studies besides what we all put in our bodies and tell people. That's it. So we really don't know what these ingredients are doing once they're all placed together. I mean, we can assume, but that's just about it. So a lot of people have to really consider that. And it sounds like you're right on par with it, because everybody's feedback is going to be slightly different. And if you're getting a majority on the good side, then that's a good thing. But yeah, you're definitely right on.
I always wanted to, I'll throw this in.
Yeah.
Everybody is different. That just brought up an idea in my mind. When I started working out, I fell in love. Like, I've been doing this since 37. I'm 43. Like, I fell in love, and I started working out with my son, and that's what I've been missing my whole life. That's what I've needed all this time. And I knew I wanted to do something, but I knew so many people are different, and what works for me don't work for everybody else. And I knew I couldn't be a trainer. I knew that, based on your body size and body type, like, that wasn't for me. So, everything just unfolded perfectly for me, and that's how this became.
Heck yeah, man. Yeah. When you live this lifestyle, at least not for everybody, but I feel like most people who get into working out and actually are serious about it, they fall in love and it becomes a passion. So that's awesome. I'm glad you've taken that passion and you've put it into something to try and make a difference, not only for yourself, but for others. So that's awesome, man. All right, let's see what else we got here. All right. What helps inspire you and bring out your best ideas?
Man, my kids. I go back to them all the time, and I've have kind of a little bit of a blotted past, and a little trouble here and there, and like I said, I was always leaving too much on the table. And, I start my day with gratitude and motivational stuff. And I drive a little bit for work, so it gives me time to get my mind focused. And, that's the way that I want to start my day. And, this isn't only for me, and this isn't only about working out, but I want to show other people that have been down the road that I have been, that there's a better way, and if I can do it, anybody can do it, So that and my kids and my son, they inspire me, man. I can't give up. Quitting's not an option at this point.
I completely respect that 100%. From a father to a father, man, your kids will drive you to do anything and push you to be a better person, no matter what the situation is. And that is a huge driving factor for many people. And when you see it motivating somebody, just from a dad's perspective, man, it pumps. Like, I'm pumped right now. I want to go like bench press something. I don't even know.
Well, it kind of, when me and him got in the gym, he's a genetic freak, man. It's retarded. And it always was a competition. Like, okay, I'm a little older. You're not going to outdo me, punk. Like, there's no way. But as he went to the Marines, man, he's 5'11", 205, and 7'8" body percent. He came out of basic at like 165. Look, retarded. Like, yeah, put some weight back on, and now he is. And you got to step back and realize, okay, you're going to have to pass off the reins, and he's definitely on another level. And the kid's heart, his work ethic, man, I look at him and I'm like, man, he's my hero. He grinds it out, and that's inspiration to me alone.
Heck yeah, man. Hey, I'm right there with you, man. If that was my kids, I'd be the same way, man. I'm right there. So that's awesome, man. Cool deal. So where can our viewers find you and your brand?
Of course, we got to have a Facebook page. It's Elysium Fitness. We would have went with Elysium, but of course that was took up. Okay, so that's what we used. Our website is elysiumstrength.com. And we would have matched it to the Facebook page, but man, it was really expensive to get that domain. So we went with what we could. And so that would be the best way.
Okay, cool deal. And are you guys thinking about brick and mortar, or right now is it going to be just the online and then?
Man, it will be a while for brick and mortar. Signing contracts and getting on, shelves in different stores. Yeah, bring it. We do some apparel, and we, trying to get into the apparel game pretty fair, pretty decent. And I've got, some Elysium shirts and working on a product of pain apparel line. And eventually we'll do a female apparel line, pants, tops, all that. And once that gets to going, we might do brick and mortar.
Heck yeah, cool deal. I just wanted to make sure there wasn't anything out there right now. Right. So what I'll also do is I will, all everybody watching, everything will be down in the description. I'll put their Instagram on there so you can reach them there, and then I'll put their website on there as well. And then if you can't get in contact with me, you need to reach out to me. I'll try and get you in contact. All right, so there's all like the main questions we have for our interview. I always like to end with something kind of off the wall just to get us kind of talking here. So last thing I have is, if you could have dinner with anyone dead or alive, who would it be and why?
Man, my father. He passed away in 2001 maybe, and yeah, I would like for him to see me now. Like, I would love to have that meal. I'd love to have that dinner and hug him one more time. Tell him that, hey, I was 21 when he passed away. You were right. I didn't know everything that I thought I did, and I learned that the hard way. And yeah, definitely go and get paid for my raising out of my youngest right now.
Hey, hell yeah, man. I can't blame you right there, man. It sounds like for you, family is huge, and that's awesome, because that's the same way with me. Family is big in my life, and I respect you 100% for that. All right. The last thing I do want to go with is there anything I didn't ask that you'd like to cover?
Man, you covered everything, man. It's a lot painless than I thought it would be, honestly.
Hey, I try to make it as easy as possible for everybody. But
Awesome, man. Awesome, man. Well, hey, I greatly appreciate you jumping on with us and telling your story a little bit. Hopefully, some people can understand what the brand's about and be on the lookout for up and coming things. So, everybody watching, like I said, everything will be tagged down in the description with them. Be on the lookout for upcoming review of their pre-workout from us here. And other than that, man, I will hit you up later and we will kind of talk from there at another point. All right.
All right, man. Greatly appreciate you.
All right, brother. Thanks for jumping on. You have a great night.
Yes, sir. You too.
See you.